Hello, how are you? My name is Pavin and I am Invisalign's top associate provider in the UK on a pro rata basis, and I'm also the CEO and founder of Align Alchemy. We are UK's #1 and top Invisalign growth mentors. Today we are on series 4, episode 2. So we've now got to a point of what we call the brokerage. The brokerage is, how do we make this affordable? The #1 thing that we've come to realize is, as human beings, we want things to be made very simple and very easy. Having a multitude of permutations is awfully confusing. So as you can see, I'm not exactly like a size 32 waist, 40 upper body. And so I had one of my chocolate cravings. So I went to the shop. I was paralyzed. I was paralyzed by having to make a choice of what chocolate to go for. And in the end, I got frustrated because I wasted 20 minutes of my life trying to decide whether I wanted to get a Twirl or a Twix or a Whisper. I just wish they offered me 2 choices. And this is what Barry Schwartz in his book calls the paradox of choice. As human beings, we're not programmed to make complicated decision making. Imagine right now you're about to purchase a property and the person says, would you like a fixed or variable? Would you like this? Would you like this? Would you like this? It's so confusing. The #1 thing top Invisalign providers understand is the more simple and slick you make this process, the easier it is. So most of my clients on a screen like the one you see behind me will have on there the decision-making process. And we call this akin to going to McDonald's and saying, I'd like a #1 with a milkshake and a large fries. We should get to a point where decision-making is made that simple. Because most people who are going to come into your practice, they've probably never seen a £50 note. This could be perhaps one of the biggest financial commitments they have made in their life, and they're going to be paralyzed in fear. The more simple and easy we make this, the better. So what does that mean? We need to basically break things down into, you have paid X amount of money to come in. To go ahead to the next stage, you pay X. Practices who say, I want £500 to get to clean check, don't be surprised if your conversion rates are not huge. For most practices who are succeeding right now, what they're saying is we need circa £200 that we cover our clean check fee to get you to the next stage. So that means if someone has paid a £50 deposit to come see you for your consultation, we're looking for a commitment on the day of the consultation of circa 149. For the average person to make a 149 commitment is not a huge amount. And then what we've got to do is to say, how do we get to stage 2? Stage 2 is saying, having approved your clean check, how are we going to pay for the balance? Are we going to get you to pay up front? If you're going to pay up front, how are we going to nudge you and encourage that? 18 months ago, around 80% of all my patients were paying through financing. As a business mentor, I looked at that and I thought, how can we change this? So all that we did was we changed the messaging, and we now offer free whitening when you pay up front. And because we're now transitioning out of a lockdown world, it would come as no surprise that 80% of all of my patients are now paying up front, because everybody has the money in the bank. We as a society have been brainwashed to accept credit. But what if you have the money in the bank? All I have to do is to give you a good reason to give me that money rather than going to financing. So how are we going to structure how we proposition things so that we nudge you to pay up front? And we only really offer 2 options. You either pay up front or you do interest in financing. Now, what if you have a CCJ? We have something separate, but we don't want to add 10 different permutations on that screen behind you. It's just way too confusing. The #1 thing that we have found from our top clients here at Align Alchemy is those who keep the process very slick and very simple are the ones that dominate the market. They're the ones that say, as soon as someone says, I want to buy and I'm ready, the brokerage and the structuring of how to make the payments is made so simple, so easy. It's just like, right, sign me up, let's get cracking on. And that is how simple and easy the Invisalign process should be. So thank you so much for your time today. My name is Pavin. Please tag, please share this. Let's get the word out there and let's all become the go-to practice for Invisalign. Thanks a lot. Bye.